What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another Prizepicks NFL player props video. This one going to be breaking down the Week 17 Saturday Night Football action between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions, giving you guys another 6-pick flex for free that I am running that I already sent in to my VIP members over in my Discord. We had another sweep last night over there. I haven't given a shout out the last few videos. I got to shout out the current members. If you'd like to join, we'd love to have you join, but college football action in these bowl games has been very kind to us, guys. It has been ridiculously good. Another winning ticket yesterday, stacking up the Memphis side, the ISU side, Hennigan, Taylor, Blankenmoose, back to Noel, Higgins, passing, receiving, positively correlated slip, turning 40 into 1,000, myself and a bunch of happy people in the winner circle. Zay turning 5 into 125, V0 Compton, 8 into 200. J24 on the right side with the quick 20 into $500. So all three of those guys along for the ride on the wins and a whole lot more. D3000 AMF with the 8 into 200. Blanco 1017 says 2 days in a row he had swept the time prior as well. The college football action 5 into 125 and Grizzly 215 with the 5 into 125 on the right side. And the winners kept going, guys. Like I said, I'd love to give a shout out to everyone, but there's so many members that cashed in. R. Sasser 53 with 10 into 250. Vince 28 with 5 into 125. T Money 334 with 20 into 500. So once again, all of these guys joining along, cashing in. And last but not least, Ricky 24, 20 into 200. Lil J 20 into 500. And Gary the Drew 10 into 100. Using some of the same props, some 4-man powers there mixed in to go along with, like I said, that 6-man flex. So it's a great time to join over there, guys, if you haven't already. We have the college football bowl games going on. We have the NBA going on. We have NFL going on. We almost had 2 NBA sweeps last night as well. It was Damian Lillard in both of them as the final leg his fantasy score, and I had the over 39.5, and he went under and ended with like 37. So it could have been even more sweeps over there yesterday, but we had a lot of double ups and then the sweeps. So profit, is always the goal. If you're getting serious, you're enjoying this content, the free content, and you would like to join, it is the KJK DFS VIP member package. It is featured on patreon.com, guys. If you visit Patreon, I'll also have a link below in the description, and I comment it as a comment in the comment section, and I pin it at the top so you can easily see, my premium content. I've gone full KJK DFS VIP, so I might just even switch that over, but I might be releasing more packages, so it's the premium content. The props package, you're going to get access to all my picks, all apps, all sports, Prizepicks, Underdog Fantasy, Better, Sleeper Picks, Parlay Play, and Thrive Fantasy. Going forward in 2024, I do a lot of Prizepicks content, but you're going to really start to see me cover all apps and really trying to teach everyone how to profit on every single app, not just Prizepicks. There's so many different apps for you to profit on. So my goal is obviously going to be to help you guys not only these videos for free, but the VIP member package, I can do so much more. That's why there's a cost associated with it. I'm in there 24/7. Finding plays, dropping value alerts, dropping tickets, all that fun stuff. So, but this ticket, once again, is going to be the ticket I'm playing for this Detroit Lions Dallas Cowboys game. I've been giving away a ton of the tickets that I'm playing myself in the VIP content for free lately on the channel, guys. If you appreciate it, it really would be greatly appreciated on my end. If you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. I'm going to keep pulling the analytics from the video after each upload. The last upload that I did, 67.8% of people were not subscribed. Only 32.2% of people were subscribed. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. And if you're someone that's already liked and subscribed, if you could help me out with commenting down below, telling others to, kind of getting the word out, that's obviously greatly appreciated as well. But let's get into the important stuff, what you came for, the picks. We're going to build out a game script. For those of you that are new to the channel, you might not know, it's a 1-game slate. We're going for a 6-man flex, and we're going to build out a game script where we're expecting the game to go a certain way. I'll discuss exactly why I'm anticipating the game to go that way, and then we're going to play some props that correlate with the game script, all backed by data and research. So if you're a new user to Prizepicks and you have not signed up, use the promo code KJKDFS. Get your first deposit matched up to $100. lock in these picks and start winning some money with us. Let's get into it, guys. We'll go team by team. It's a one-game slate, so I say we go game by game in most of my videos. We'll go team by team. We'll start with the away side in the Detroit Lions. This game has a 52.5 over/under. It is a 5.5-point spread in favor of the Dallas Cowboys, so we're expected to see a pretty high-scoring game and what's expected to be a close one here. And I think each of these teams is going to come in with a certain game plan, obviously, to take advantage of the other opponent's weaknesses. The Detroit Lions, their kind of memo of football is a little bit more old school, ground and pound kind of an approach. It's not something we see a whole lot in today's NFL, but they certainly have, taken a liking to that culture. And I'm building out a game stack to kind of match up with it. Not only does the culture match up, but the specific data and the strong suits of these teams kind of matches up. So we'll break it down here for you guys. The very first thing that sticks out to me, right? The Cowboys. They have one of the top coverage units in the entire NFL. They are top 12 in the entire NFL with an 81.5 coverage rating, right? So not exactly the easiest offense to throw the ball against. However, their rush defense only has a 70.2 grade. And the Detroit Lions have one of the best run offenses in the entire NFL. They trail only the San Francisco 49ers, does their O-line and run block grade with a 78.3 run block grade. Niners just edging them out with that 79.1. But we know the Detroit Lions love to run the football, and they have a big offensive line advantage against this Dallas Cowboys front. A 51% run block advantage. That is a big deal. I think the Lions' game plan for this game is going to be pretty simple. Keep the ball on the ground, try to keep the game close, and keep the ball out of Dak Prescott and this high-powered Dallas Cowboys offense's hands as much as possible. And that's going to involve a run-heavy game plan. So the very first prop that I'm taking is going to be Jared Goff. And everything that I just discussed as far as the Lions wanting to keep the ball on the ground, keep the ball out of Dak's hands, we're going with the under on Jared Goff's pass attempts, 36.5. I think the explanation's pretty self-explanatory with everything I just kind of discussed as far as how I'm leading off this game script, right? We're looking for the Lions to run the ball a ton, try to beat the Cowboys on the ground, which is going to entail that they're not going to try to throw the ball a lot. If they can keep the game close, if they get behind up by a bunch early, our game stack and our game script is out the window as it is. So that's just the way it is. It's one game. We have to build a game script, how we expect this game to go. So I'm starting things off with Goff's pass attempts, and I'm following things up here with this Detroit Lions backfield that's been so run heavy. They have two guys, right? Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Now, we look at the snap counts for these guys. It is certainly a rare breakdown compared to other teams in the NFL, as both of these guys are just getting a ton of carries and a ton of snaps. We go ahead and break down the snap count for these two guys and exactly how things are shaking out for the Detroit Lions offense. You can see Jahmyr Gibbs last week out, 58.4% of the snaps. And as far as David Montgomery, 39% of the snaps. A week prior, 51.6 for David Montgomery. And looking at 48.4 for Jahmyr Gibbs. Week prior, 34.9, 63.5, 46.4, 60.7. So you can see it's practically a 50-50 split, with these two guys on the ground. They're getting the ball in their hands a ton. And like I said, I think the game plan is going to be pretty simple here. We look at the Lions and how they fare up as far as their pass-to-run ratio. They're running the ball 42.9% of the time. That's a lot more than a lot of other teams in the NFL. We look at the Dallas Cowboys attack, 59.3% of the time they're passing the ball. That's much more, perpendicular with what we're seeing around the NFL a lot nowadays. Lions, like I said, though, they've shown a willingness to run the ball. They haven't had an issue with kind of going with that old school ground and pound approach. And everything points to them wanting to stick with that game plan in this one. I talked about it. Top 2 run block offensive line in the entire NFL. Cowboys have a really good coverage unit. Their weakness in this game is going to be their ability to stop the run with that 51% run block advantage for the Detroit Lions. So we're going to be doing something that you won't see a lot out of me for sure, because not every team is even near the Lions as far as their run share, but we're going to be taking actually overs on both of the running backs. Keep in mind the game script of us thinking they're just going to try to ground and pound, keep the ball out of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys' hands as much as they can, try to get a lead, and or just try to keep it a one-score game. If they can just stay in the hunt here, with the Cowboys being 5.5-point favorites, if they can just keep it within one score throughout the game, keep it close, try to get some stops with their defense, and end up with the ball last, go down the field and get that touchdown. I think that's kind of where the Lions are going to be looking. So Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 attempts, 11 attempts, 11 attempts the last 3 times out. As far as his rushing yards, you can see 60, 66, 180. So been very efficient on the ground, and same with David Montgomery, 17, 17, 10, 18, and you look at the yards, 71, 56, 66, 85, and 55 yards on the ground. Look at where their lines are set in this game. They're both right in the mid-50s. So David Montgomery's at 55.5. He's cleared this in 4 of the last 5. Then you look at Jahmyr Gibbs. He's in the low 50s, 52.5. He's cleared this in 4 of the last 5. So it's a bit of a rarity where you're targeting 2 overs from 2 running backs in the same backfield, but I explained it. This is going to be kind of a game script we're building out here, right? So the Lions are going to try to keep the ball on the ground, keep the ball out of Dak's hands as much as they can, keep in the game, one-score game. And it's going to be through feeding these guys as they've been doing all year, taking advantage of that run block advantage that we talked about, that 51% run block advantage for the Detroit Lions O-line, and trying to kind of beat the Cowboys by not allowing them to have the ball and not allowing them to outscore them. So we're going to be going with the rushing yards for David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, 55.5, 2.5. So obviously it's going to be positively correlated with our Jared Goff under. If they're not throwing the ball, they're running the ball, they're having success running the ball, they're keep going to the ground attack, trying to beat this Cowboys team. So that'll be our stack on the Lions side of things. And then we're going to go ahead and run things back on the Cowboys side with a much different approach. So we will discuss that, kind of like what I like on the Cowboys side here. And it all starts with the QB in Dak Prescott, as I discussed. Cowboys really showing a willingness to sit in the shotgun and throw the ball this year, and they've been having much more of a high-octane offense kind of approach, taking some deep shots. 65.4% of the time they're running in the shotgun. Are the Cowboys throwing 59.3% of the time? And then you look at the wide receiver sets, they're running a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, 71% of the time. They've got 3 wideouts out there. And then they've got the top tight end in Jake Ferguson. So the Cowboys showing a willingness to throw the ball. We talked about how we're going to be attacking both of these teams' strong suits. Well, the Detroit Lions defense, once again, we're talking about a weakness for them. Their pass coverage unit has been terrible. They are bottom 6 in the entire NFL with only a 58.8 coverage grade. Their run defense has been fantastic. They're top 5 in the entire NFL with a 77.8 run defense grade. So what does that mean? They have a pass funnel defense. Cowboys are probably going to have a lot more success attacking this Lions defense through the air. I think that's going to be the Cowboys' game plan. Now, with the Lions trying to run the ball, keep the ball out of Dak's hands, hopefully the Lions getting up is the best case scenario for us here. But even if they don't, I think the Cowboys are going to be relying on some quick strikes, some big plays. And it all starts with Dak Prescott. Been doing a great job of throwing the football this year down the field, and specifically to 2 wide receivers that are on the field for a ton of snaps. It is CeeDee Lamb playing 86% of the snaps, 82 last week. Jake Ferguson, 86%, 100% for CeeDee Lamb the week prior. Both these guys playing right around like 80% of the snaps every single week and getting a ton of the target share. So I'm looking for some big, quick strike plays. We look at how this Dallas team breaks down as far as a receiving target share. The 2 top options are CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson by far. CeeDee Lamb's received 149 targets through 15 games this year. Jake Ferguson, 84 targets. The average depth of reception for these guys through the air has been great as well. 6.1 for Jake Ferguson, 10.8 for CeeDee Lamb. So we're looking for Dak Prescott to be throwing the ball down the field to these guys, as he has been all year. We get the breakdown as far as the targets for CeeDee Lamb. How is it breaking down? Well, on deep balls this year, he's got 27 targets. Those 20-plus yard throws, 27 of them. The medium range, 10 to 19 yards, 43. And the short range, 64. And then the offensive wide receiver grades for him have just been great in every single area of the field. 84.3 receiving grade outside right as far as the 0 to 10 yard range, 94.1 over the center. Same thing. It's that 10 to 20 yard range where he's just been an absolute killer. He's got a 96 or above receiving grade in every single one of those. Outside right between the numbers and outside left. And the deep balls, same thing. 92.4, 97.1, and a 94.5 receiving grade on those deep balls. So CeeDee Lamb, a guy that's getting a lot of 10 plus, 20 plus yard catches, targets down the field. If he's going to get those targets, obviously, against this Lions defense that we just discussed has been terrible. Defensively, he should be able to have some success here in this one. And he has the best matchup advantage in the entire game with an 85.1 matchup advantage at the wide receiver position. He's expected to play 39 snaps. Then we look at Jake Ferguson here at the tight end position as far as his advantage. He's got a 20% advantage taking on the linebacker in Alex Anzalone for the Detroit Lions, who only has a 69.6 defensive grade. So what am I getting at here? We talked about the game script as far as the Lions expecting to run the ball a lot, try to keep the ball out of Dallas Cowboys' hands. Hopefully they get up in the game, like I said, would be the best case scenario. But even if they don't, look for the Cowboys to get the ball back, struggle a little bit on the ground against this really solid Lions run defense, and look for some quick strikes from them to beat the Lions down the field with that weak coverage unit. Once again, their coverage unit coming in as 6th worst in the entire NFL. However, their run defense coming in as top 5 in the entire NFL. It's a pretty clear pass funnel defense. You're not going to really beat them on the ground a lot. And then lastly, we talked about the offensive line on the Lions side, but you look at the matchup here for the Cowboys, they only have a 12% advantage on the run as far as their advantage with their O-line. So everything kind of pointing to the Cowboys to probably rely on their passing offense in this one. And like I said, it's Jake Ferguson, it's CeeDee Lamb that are getting a ton of the targets down the field. I actually did not pull up Ferguson's charts here that I wanted to share with you guys, which was a mistake. But he's also been really, really fantastic down the field in every single category. We look at how he's done here. He has great numbers in the 10-plus yard range. Same thing as CeeDee Lamb. Most of his targets on the season are coming in that short range with the 0 to 9 yardage. But then the medium, 10 to 19 range, 15 targets as well. Not a lot of drops. Grades are fantastic. And, of course, his line's going to be a little bit different than CeeDee. Not quite like 100-plus, which we'll discuss here. But we're looking for some positive correlation. With the stack of not only Dak's passing yards, but also the Ferguson and CeeDee Lamb. Dak hasn't passed in each of the last 3 games. This Detroit Lions secondary should obviously offer him a great opportunity to do so. CeeDee Lamb, 102.5. Once again, with the game script, are kind of going for some big boom plays here out of the Cowboys side and some run and ground pound out of the Lions side. And then lastly, the Ferguson play, rounding things out. Obviously, if Dak's not going over his passing yards, it's not likely that Ferguson or CeeDee Lamb are going to clear their receiving yards, which has happened the last few times out. So, don't let these red charts dictate you off these plays, because we're looking for some positive correlation with Dak having a lot of success through the air. Throwing 30-plus times, like every game, 32, 41, 39, 34, 32. And then if he's able to get the ball down the field, should be Ferguson, should be CeeDee Lamb. They're the ones out there for 80+% of the snap. They're the ones getting all the targets. And hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, we get a nice 6-man sweep for you guys. It's all about some positively correlated plays here. Going with the under on Jared Goff's pass attempts. Expecting the Lions to go run heavy, try to keep the ball out of Dak Prescott and this Cowboys offense's hands as much as they can. Keep the game a 1-score game. Ground and pound with Montgomery and Gibbs. Have some success on the ground with that massive offensive line advantage that we discussed. Hopefully, they're able to take advantage of it. Pulled it up multiple times, but we'll pull it up again for you guys just to see. 51% run block advantage is a really, really big deal. That's a clear matchup advantage for them in this one. And then Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Jake Ferguson on the other side talked about how the Lions have a really solid run defense, really solid run defense, but their coverage unit's been terrible. So we're dealing with a clear pass funnel defense, and look for the Cowboys. Hopefully, like I said, the best case scenario is the Cowboys get behind in this game and they have to throw. But if the Cowboys don't get behind, I still think we could see some quick strike, big play kind of an approach from their offensive coordinator. And then the Lions, like I said, their main focus is going to be trying to have possession of the ball as long as possible, running the ball on the ground, having success with that, and keeping the game close. So best case, the Cowboys get behind early, but I still think we can hit even if they don't. Just based off the approach. We're having passing, receiving yards. We don't need them to have the ball for a long time, but we do need some quick strike, big plays. And if everything goes according to plan, we could be looking at a nice 6-man sweep here. Already did lock it in myself just to prove it. I always pull it up on the screen for you guys, and I already did send this in to my VIP members. This is what we're rocking with. Jared Goff's under pass attempts, David Montgomery over rushing yards, Jahmyr Gibbs over rushing yards, Dak Prescott over passing yards, CeeDee Lamb over receiving yards, and Jake Ferguson over receiving yards. Already did send that into my VIP members, guys. If you're looking to get access to every single one of my tickets as soon as I place them, you're going to want to check out the Patreon. It is patreon.com/KJK_DFS. It is linked below in the description. And that's going to give you access to my Discord, where I do send these plays right away. I'm going to let you know exactly how confident I am in the play, how many units I'm putting on it. So just to pull that up and prove to you that I did send it into the VIP chat, here it is. So, 4-star, 1-unit rating. So whatever your unit is, if you usually play $5, play $5 on this. If you play 10, play 10. If you play 100, whatever you typically play, put that on this 6-man flex. And sharing it with you guys for free on the channel. Giving out a lot of tickets for free lately on the channel. If you enjoyed, it would be greatly appreciated. If you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to do. It does greatly help me out, and I'll be helping you guys out with these videos for free all NFL season long. NBA, college football, ton of action going on. I try to get as much content as I can, but once again, all picks, all tickets I place are on the Patreon over in the Discord. And all you got to do is click that link down below in the description. I will comment it, the premium content link, and you can join today. So thanks for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck tonight on your NFL Prize Picks player props, and we will see you in the next one.